September 7th, 1996, Las Vegas. A black BMW stops at a red light on Flamingo Road just off the Las Vegas Strip. Inside the car are rapper Tupac Shakur and Death Row Records founder Suge Knight. They had just left the Mike Tyson fight at the MGM Grand. Music is playing. The night feels electric. Then a white Cadillac pulls up beside them. Shots ring out. Multiple bullets tear into the BM. Tupac is hit several times. The Cadillac disappears into the night. 6 days later, on September 13th, Tupac Shakur is pronounced dead at just 25 years old. Officially, that is where the story ends. But for millions of fans around the world, it never did. Because almost immediately after Tupac's death, something strange began to happen. People started seeing him, not metaphorically, literally. Bunch sightings began appearing everywhere. Gas stations, hotels, airports, small towns, other countries. Witnesses swore they had seen Tupac alive and well. Most celebrity death conspiracies fade quickly, but Tupac's refused to disappear. In fact, the theory only grew stronger over time. And at the center of that theory is one very specific location: Cuba. The Tupac in Cuba story didn't begin as a viral internet meme. It started years before social media even existed. The logic behind it comes from Tupac's own words. Tupac had spoken many times about the idea of faking his death. In interviews, he referenced Niccolo Machiavelli, the Renaissance political strategist who wrote about deception and strategic disappearance. Tupac admired Machiavelli so much that he created the alias Machiavelli, which he used for his final album recorded shortly before his death. The album was titled The Don Illuminati, The 7-Day Theory. And one detail from that album would later become fuel for conspiracy theorists. The album booklet reportedly contained references suggesting Tupac might return. Even stranger, the album itself was released just 2 months after his death, which raised questions about how quickly it had been completed and prepared. But the theories did not stop there. Supporters of the survival theory began pointing out several unusual details surrounding Tupac's death. First, the speed of the cremation. According to reports, Tupac's body was cremated the day after his death. That timeline struck many fans as unusually fast. In most high-profile cases, bodies are examined extensively before cremation. But Tupac's cremation reportedly happened within 24 hours. Second, there were questions about the investigation itself. Despite the fact that Tupac's murder happened in a major tourist city with thousands of potential witnesses and cameras nearby, the case was never solved. No immediate arrests, no clear resolution. Years passed, then decades. Still no definitive closure. That lack of answers created space for speculation, and that speculation began to focus on one possible escape route: Cuba. Why Cuba? Because Tupac had family ties that made the idea at least plausible. His aunt, Assata Shakur, had been living in political asylum in Cuba since the 1980s. Assata was a former member of the Black Liberation Army who escaped prison in the United States and eventually received asylum from the Cuban government. In other words, Tupac had a direct family connection to someone already living there under protection. For conspiracy theorists, that detail was everything. They imagined a scenario where Tupac faked his death in Las Vegas and then quietly relocated to Cuba, where U.S. authorities would have difficulty reaching him. From there, the sightings began to multiply. Stories appeared from travelers who claimed they saw Tupac walking through Havana, and others claimed they met someone who knew someone who had seen him living quietly somewhere in the countryside. Photos occasionally surfaced online of men who looked vaguely like Tupac. None were ever confirmed, but the rumors never stopped. And Tupac's own life story only fueled the speculation further, because Tupac was not just a rapper. He was an actor, a performer, someone deeply aware of symbolism and public narrative. Throughout his career, he constantly referenced strategy, deception, and power structures. His music often blurred the line between storytelling and real life, which led some fans to believe he might have planned the ultimate disappearing act. Then there is another strange coincidence. Tupac died at age 25, but the number 7 appeared repeatedly throughout the events surrounding his death. He was shot on September 7th. He died 6 days later, which some fans connect symbolically to the number 7 again. His final album was called The 7-Day Theory. For conspiracy-minded fans, these patterns feel too strange to ignore. Of course, skeptics say the explanation is much simpler. Tupac lived an extremely high-risk lifestyle, During one of the most violent eras in hip-hop history, the East Coast-West Coast rap rivalry was escalating rapidly. Multiple artists had received threats. Violence surrounding record labels and street affiliations was not uncommon. From that perspective, Tupac's death was tragic but not mysterious. Just another unsolved murder from a turbulent time. But even that explanation leaves lingering questions. Because Tupac's influence never faded. His music continued to sell. New material kept appearing. Posthumous albums were released for years. Songs recorded before his death continued to surface long afterward. To some fans, it felt almost as if Tupac's presence never really disappeared, and the myth grew stronger with every passing year. Sightings, rumors, theories. Even today, nearly 3 decades later, the Tupac alive theory refuses to die. Not because there is proof, but because the story itself is powerful. The idea that one of the most influential artists in music history might have outsmarted the entire world, that he might have escaped the chaos surrounding him, that somewhere, far away from the spotlight, he, Tupac Shakur, might still be alive, living quietly, watching the legend grow. Is it realistic? Probably not. But in the world of celebrity mythology, realism is not always the point. Sometimes the legend becomes bigger than the truth, and Tupac's legend may be one of the biggest ever created, because even now, almost 30 years later, people are still asking the same question. What if he never died at all? You be the judge. If you're awake, you already know what to do. Hit the link in our description and sign up to our free underground newsletter.